Supreme's special on Tuesday is a taco pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm never there on Tuesdays, so, I never really try it, or have ever got to try it. But I had it yesterday since I was working, and it tastes like a Taco Bell Gordita Crunch.
That's cool.
I took a bite and I was like, what this tastes like Taco Bell. What the fuck? I was like, obviously just taco meat, and then like all the pizza, mozzarella, pizza sauce, and then jalapenos, green peppers, and then after it's cooked, to top it with lettuce, like a lime sour cream, and then crunched up Doritos on top of it. And I folded it and I'm like, it's got the bread, soft bread, like the Gordita. It's got the taco chips like the taco, but now it's like Dorito flavored with the taco meat and the limes. I was like, what?
That sounds awesome.
Actually, yeah, it was really good. And then I almost shit my pants.
Cool. Like Taco Bell. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy Jacob's mixtape. Welcome back, everyone.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm fine.
Welcome to another episode. We are now doing the movie I have seen,
Yes.
Jacob has not. 1995's Virtuosity.
Yes, I've actually kind of found it interesting that they were literally a 10 year. And then also, funny enough, this was also number 70 in domestic box office for 1995.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, that's
Weird.
very strange.
That's a weird correlation.
How many movies for 95?
33.
44.
Ah. I lost. Oh, I didn't.
Also, well, wait, what was the last 95 movie you did was a long time ago. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I think it. I don't know. I tried. I don't remember if I even looked. What would it have been?
It was something that we definitely hadn't started counting.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I can't remember that. Oh, Johnny Mnemonic's on the list, so that's one. It's very, very fitting for Johnny Mnemonic.
Four Rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 13.
Yeah.
Wow, we haven't done 95 in a long time. Interesting.
But yeah, Virtuosity. Do you want to tell the people what this movie is about, synopsis-wise?
Didn't write one down. All right, let's go. A disgraced cop must stop a synthetic serial killer on a rampage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it sound crazy?
It
It
is. It is crazy.
It's absolute bonkers.
I really love this movie still to this day.
This was
Really bizarre.
quite a movie.
It's very bizarre. Okay. So yeah, released August 4th, 1995.
Yeah.
Directed by Brett Leonard.
Mm-hmm. Who really hasn't done a lot.
Nope. Not
Biggest
really.
acclaim, really, other than maybe this, strangely enough, would be Lawnmower Man.
Yeah.
He's directed a good amount of Billy Idol music videos.
And he's in Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, that was like, what? That's awesome. His first movie he directed, though, I almost fell onto a really weird deep dive with. I want to watch it.
What?
It's called Dead Pit.
Dead Pit.
Dead
What
Pit.
is Dead Pit about?
A haunted asylum.
Ooh.
But it also
Dead Pit.
it also looks like just like a glorified excuse to just show women's boobs.
1989. That's kind of that fits.
Yeah. But it looks cheesy and bad. Like it's kind of like my type of like horror cinema, you know.
Yeah.
Like don't expect a good movie.
Yeah. No. It looks terrible. It looks awesome though. Actually, like I just clicked on the trailers.
No, yeah,
It looks cool.
Right?
It looks really terrible, but it looks like.
Apparently, it's the same asylum that they did One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
Oh,
Nest.
good. She's running through the hallway in underwear and.
Yeah. Oh no, the spirits are coming after me. Anyway, all right, we're not talking about that though. We're talking about
Oh my
Virtuosity.
god! She's like, oh my god,
Dude, I see what I'm saying.
Yeah. This looks so bad. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brett Leonard, director of this. I didn't really find anything special or anything more about him. Brett, you're not special. That's not what I meant. Anyway, yeah, I think we just move into the writer.
Yeah, our writer is Eric Burnt.
Seeing what
Romeo Must Die.
what he's written, I was like, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, like you're like, okay, sure.
Surviving the Game, Highlander, Endgame.
Which one is that?
I think that's the third. Might be the fourth though.
The third.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of those are there now?
I think there's like 5 or 6.
Jesus.
Plus a TV
And a
series.
TV series
Yeah.
too. What if like randomly they made a video game about like in today's like a Highlander video game?
Dude, Highlander video game would be dope.
That'd be kind of cool, right?
You go through the different time periods.
Yeah, and like learn different like fighting styles and.
Do you think that'd be a type of thing where they would actually have it be like a timeline that you could navigate through, like missions in like feudal Japan, like missions in here, and like you can like go back and like
Do those missions
like
again.
like imagine like a HUD of some type of like timeline thing that you can like navigate through.
Is it weird that you describing that just makes me think of Assassin's Creed?
No, not at all.
Yeah, right. Like I'm like it's kind of. I guess it's kind of a thing in a weird way. Pick your era.
Oh yeah, it did give me like. Did you see that there was a credit for a short film called Sid 6.7?
Well, that was because it's characters by.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did you see that? It's a 9-minute YouTube short film.
Did you watch it?
I started to, and I had no context of what was happening because I hadn't watched the movie yet. So. This movie just kind of had a writer and a director.
Happened.
And like, let me pull up I think even like looking at like production for this movie, it was just kind of like.
Well, real quick, if you go to like for example, the Wikipedia for it, production.
That's where I was exactly going right now.
Yeah, it just says that Washington restructured much of the story and dialogue during filming,
Entirely removing a romantic subtext between Barnes and Dr. Carter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know what? I would have actually kind of preferred there to be something like that.
Really?
Yeah, because this movie was boring as hell to me.
Really? It was boring?
I should say boring. The only thing that kept me going was watching Russell Crowe.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Pause real quick. I just realized something.
So, like, you actually want to pause?
No.
You don't want me to end this? Okay.
No. Like, you can keep going, but
Okay.
that is so funny.
What?
So I went on like real quick, just a little like mini. So I looked at the Dead Pit, right?
Okay.
No. Let me finish.
Sorry.
I was like, oh, who is the actress in that? Because she looked kind of familiar, but her name is Cheryl Lawson, and I was like, oh, maybe
Yeah.
she's not anybody. But then I kind of was going through looking for a picture of her,
She's a stunt person.
and then Virtuosity came up.
Mm-hmm.
She's in Virtuosity.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
Sorry. I think I saw that.
a
I think
random-
she's like one of the women that gets like killed by Sid or something. Like she's a stunt actress.
yeah. I just thought that was it.
It makes sense though. I mean, fucking Brett.
Yeah. No,
Brett
it
was like,
I just thought it was funny.
Hey, remember that
Pretty
movie?
Woman in Media Zone is what she's credited at in Virtuosity.
it's like, hey, remember that time that I like, completely, I can't think of the right word, exploited you in this movie.
Throw me a freaking bone.
I guess that's we can transition now into the actors in this since we've already brought them up and you just said that. This starring Denzel Washington, and we haven't done a Denzel Washington movie, have we? No, I would remember.
I can't think of what it would have been.
Also, like, I feel like I would have remembered because, like, looking at his list, I realized I actually haven't watched a lot of Denzel Washington movies.
Well, then also Denzel Washington, there is no chill.
Yeah, that's
All of his stuff is like pretty like
intense
or weird.
Yeah.
Like intense like Man on Fire. Mm-hmm. Weird like Fallen.
Well, I mean, remember the Titans?
Oh yeah, I guess. But even that's like a drama, you know,
Yeah.
like
It's like what I
Bone Collector.
I
No,
wrote
wait, is that the one?
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah.
That's one of them, right? Yeah.
I wrote down the movies just through the list that I was looking at that I could remember actually kind of seeing, and obviously Training Day, which that's intense. Fallen, which I do know I've seen. Remember the Titans, but then one that I was trying to didn't know this was the name of it, but John Q.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, the father. I think it's based on a real story. I think.
Oh, I don't know.
Based on real events.
That's a really good movie though.
And he holds a hospital hostage until somebody can bring in a donor for his kid.
Oh no, we didn't do Denzel Washington. We did talk about him in a banter when we talked about Pretty Things.
That's right.
Because I remember we were talking about with Denzel Washington's like a comfort food. You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington is the cop. Denzel Washington is the dad. Because
I don't find Denzel Washington very interesting. I know he is. I respect him as a good actor, but I just don't find him very interesting.
Yeah, we did. So we did talk about him for a minute.
That's right. Pretty Little. Yeah.
Pretty Things. I think it's called
Pretty Things with Jared Leto.
Yeah. And
who was the other cop?
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek. That's right. He was great in that.
Yeah. I remember we talked about that that's when it came out. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was like, I feel like we had, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's why you kind of feel. That's why you kind of feel like we talked about him because we kind of did.
There was a time that I remember this time.
Yeah.
And then following next lead in this movie, Russell Crowe, who carries this movie, in my opinion, to make it somewhat watchable.
He's ridiculous.
He is so over the top. That's what I love about it.
Top.
And then I also, again, I went through what movies have I seen with Russell Crowe in, and Gladiator, A Beautiful Mind, The Nice Guys, and Unhinged were the top ones that came for me.
3:10 to Yuma.
I haven't seen that.
Les Mis.
I actually haven't seen that.
I refuse to, but I know he's in it. You'll know you can't pay me.
Master and Commander.
I love that movie. That movie's cool.
I'm so I would see that trailer and I'm like, this looks boring. Oh no, I should say boring. I feel like it's just not my kind.
It's not your kind of thing.
Yeah.
I looking at his list, I was like, man, I've seen a lot of Russell Crowe.
Yeah, that makes sense. You really need to watch Unhinged though.
Which one's that again? Oh, Cinderella Man. Oh, A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah, I said A Beautiful Mind.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
No, you really need to. Unhinged is the one where he the woman. Cuts him off in traffic.
Yeah. That's the falling down.
Yeah, dude, it's so good.
Yeah, I like
he
that kind of shit.
He goes nuts. He plays a great bad guy.
I've heard. Is he kind of an asshole
in that?
No, just in have you ever?
Have you
ever heard about his personality?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's more of a he wants to have a private life and people,
don't let him.
Yeah. I also made a note, I had no idea who Russell Crowe was before Gladiator. There is, this movie was kind of I would have had no idea that I didn't think that Russell Crowe had a career before Gladiators, I guess.
Oh, really?
What I'm trying to say, yeah.
Oh,
so I had no idea who the fuck he was before Gladiator. And it's just in my mind, his career just began at Gladiator.
I mean, that kind of was his big pop off, right? That's when he really became
Yeah, I feel like maybe this.
What's before that?
What did he do before this?
L.A. Confidential.
That was a big pop off for him. But that's okay. So, also you need to see The Nice Guys. You haven't watched that yet. That
I know.
fucking
Yeah,
great.
you've been bugging me about that one.
Okay, so Virtuosity. This may have been his big break. This may have been his breakthrough. Oh, The Quick and the Dead.
What is that?
I don't know. It just sounds like something. I mean, he's been acting since 72 as oh wow, as a child actor. Oh wow. Acropolis now, TV series, Proof, The Efficiency Expert. Yeah, that's great. He's actually just been in stuff.
Wait, is The Quick and the Dead that one I was talking about that we should do with Leonardo DiCaprio? Yep, that is. That's why it sounds familiar. That's that fucking Western that I was.
That one.
With Gene Hackman, Russell Crowe, Sharon Stone, Leonardo DiCaprio. I was like, what is this, Keith David?
What the hell is this?
What is this?
It's just all of a sudden it's resurfaced, just where it's
because it got put on Netflix.
We got jumped into an alternate dimension, and all of a sudden this exists, and we're like, wait, what? What timeline are we in right now?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So Russell Crowe, and then I kind of want to do the shout outs of the supporting actors in this too, because there's quite a few that either we've done stuff with or they've gotten into a career. I mean, they're actually, strangely enough, like Kelly Lynch is the only one that kind of doesn't have as much of anything else from everyone else. I just kind of wrote like she was more like an 80s, early 90s, just kind of like love interest actress type thing.
Yeah.
But her daughter is played by a very young Kaylee Cuoco.
Who's that again?
She's Penny from The Big Bang Theory,
Oh, okay, cool.
that flight attendant. And she had this new show on Peacock called oh God, what is it? She starts a podcast about a real life murder that's happening.
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah,
was like based on a true story.
Yeah, based on true story. That's
I think
the
that's
name
what
of
it's
it.
called,
Yeah. No, I mean, she's fucking.
That's funny. I didn't realize that was her.
No, it's neither. It was like when I was looking at the cast, I saw Kaylee Cuoco. Oh no, it was I paused it on Prime and I saw Kaylee Cuoco and I was like, who the fuck?
Oh,
Wait
the
a
child.
fucking second. Rewound it and I was like, oh my God, look at that adorable little nerd.
And then they're like, so who else? There was
Which also was really weird. Is like it put into context for me when this movie came out how old I was because her and I are the same age.
Oh, okay.
So
That's funny.
Yeah.
Huh, that's funny.
So I was like, wow, I was a fucking dorkler looking kid too for this time. And then I got William Fichtner because we did Blood Rain. Not Blood Rain. Ultraviolet. He's the one that like is in love with her or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
He's in The Dark Knight is the bank teller. In this, he's like I guess one of the investors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
with Lois Fletcher, who is the female, the girl. She looks like a cat. Older woman. She was the grandmother in Flowers in the Attic.
Yeah. Kevin J. O'Connor,
Yeah, which I was sitting there looking. I'm like, why does he look so familiar?
who played Benny in The
It was
Mummy.
Benny in the Mummy.
I didn't look at it when we did The Mummy. I didn't realize his last name is O'Connor and then
O'Connell.
O'Connell.
I think we brought that up.
Did we?
I think
don't
so.
remember having that conversation.
I don't know.
But yeah, Kevin J. O'Connor, that was funny because I did the same thing. Well, actually, I didn't even notice it was him. Actually, my partner was like, hey, look, it's Benny. I was like, oh, yeah, it is Benny.
I had to go and like find him and be like, why does this guy look so familiar? What did I see him in? And then I saw Benny and I saw the money in Benny. That's all, folks. Da-da-da-da. So yeah, this is the Tommy and Jacob podcast.
Yeah, there's definitely some people in this. It was funny.
Yeah, no, totally. I didn't recognize the guy that played Lyndon Meyer though. Like the other bad guy. Oh God, I can't wait to get into that bullshit.
Oh.
God, I have so many questions about this movie, man. I can't just eat the carrot. I'm just like, what? What?
I lost my thingy. There it is.
Oh, okay. I was like, what happened? Why did we
Nah, I
stop?
lost mine.
All right. Do you want to go into reviews?
Sure.
I'm really curious about the reviews on this.
Did you guys do your scores while I pull that up?
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is awesome. So IMDb, it's got a 5.5. And I'm like, yeah, okay, fair.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the Rotten Tomato one or anything? Mm-hmm. It's got a 32% tomato meter and audience score. I was like, oh, yeah. Yes. Let's bring out the sludge and fucking talk about it.
Okay, so 4 positive, 6 mixed, 7 negative. Which I thought was actually 4.
So how's there fucking positive? And there's positives, yeah.
So Kevin Thomas at the LA Times gave it an 80 out of 100. Virtuosity is a sleek, brutal techno thriller that generates nonstop action. But for at least some of us, the fun is spoiled by its numbing body count and murky storyline.
Yeah, well, okay, the second part of that, yeah. Yeah, I like that actually, murky storytelling.
Mixed William Arnold at the Seattle Post Intelligencer.
Seattle.
42 out of 100. It's a by the numbers action affair, and one that is considerably more mean-spirited and humorless than the norm.
Okay. Mean-spirited.
Yeah.
Is there some weird shit in this movie that I I'm not remembering?
I mean, Sid is just
Over the top.
over the top monster.
He's a serial killer.
He's multiple serial killers.
Yeah. Also, yeah, we'll get into that. Okay. Let's finish your reviews.
With the negative, Lisa Schwarzenbaum at Entertainment with a 33 out of 100. Washington is wasted here. Kelly Lynch is wooden. Crow has a ball going over the top, but how much taunting and eyeball popping can a performer do?
A lot.
A lot, apparently.
A lot.
Well, if you
Enough to keep me kind of.
if you let him, he'll do it. He'll do it the whole time.
Yeah.
From start to finish.
Dude, I gotta give it to Russell Crowe. Like the performance he gave in this movie was bonkers, off the fucking wall, and it's the only thing that is coherent and consistent in this fucking movie, in my opinion.
As a Crow.
Yes. Like, after watching, I was like, I see why he had a career following this. Like
Casting agent saw something.
yeah, no. I was just like...
But what's weird about it is that he never really did, like, after this, all of his stuff was like, I mean, granted, it's like a lot of period pieces and stuff, but they're all grounded. You know what I mean? Like, only now in his older career, like, does he play like Zeus, and he's like the zany Zeus, you know, or what you're talking about
that.
Or like what you're talking about with the Unhinged.
Unhinged, yeah.
That's the closest thing, because even in like 3:10 to Yuma, he's a villain, but he's a really like grounded. He's an outlaw. He's a Western outlaw.
Well, okay, this is the kind of the weird thing, is like how over the top and crazy he is in this movie with like his, you know, it's like weirdly, I was like, it was believable and grounded,
No,
which was crazy.
What I think you liked about it is he is the Joker.
Yeah, more or less.
Like, you want to play, you know, and like,
well, it's like at first when it was like you're seeing him in like the like in the actual program, and when he first gets out and he's kind of like choppy and like and like all kind of like that, I was like, okay. But then when he's in the club and he's like, oh yes, a symphony, I was like, oh,
when he makes music with the screams and
stuff.
stuff.
I was like, oh, this is terrifying. This is, and like for the premise to be so terrifying, it has to be somebody that is enjoying it, you know.
I just looked up quotes for this movie.
Oh no.
And they're pretty much all him. but like just for like our listeners, like an example of what this character is. Just because I'm carrying around the joy of killing your family inside me doesn't mean we can't be friends.
Yeah.
Hey buddy, how's the wife and kid? Still dead? Like, it's like, oh, it's so good.
It's yeah, no, like, but you see, from that, you have this really disjointed, subpar script that the dialogue is so bad and it's like the dialogue between like the detectives and everybody, and even like Denzel Washington is just like such a one note fucking person in this entire movie as well.
But that's what I was saying though about him being the comfort food. It's like, this is Denzel Washington as a tortured cop, but he didn't.
But
it kind of
no
felt like he phoned
to it.
Yeah, it felt like he kind of phoned it in a little.
No,
bit.
100, or they fucking like all of his good acting was like edited out or something, because it's like literally he's just like, his character is a glorified renegade cop reluctantly accepting some redemption, which also it's like, why are like, catch this fucking bad guy and we'll full pardon you. Oh, I don't want a full pardon. It's like, why? What you want to? What's happening in this fucking world? Like, there's no sense in a lot of this movie.
He's guilty and he thinks he needs to write out his prison sentence. I do like that he has a robot arm though. That's.
Yeah, which they very lightly lean into, like, until the very end. I was like, dude, if I had a fucking robot metal arm, that would be like the number one thing. I like how he runs through the fucking glass with his. That's
the thing. It's like they kind of like they kind of make this big deal about it, and then it feels like it's kind of forget. You're like, oh yeah, He does have a robot arm.
There's a lot of this movie that just like I feel like they wrote themselves into a point and they're like, oh, it's like I feel like they wrote that the robot arm and then someone's like, hey, doesn't he have a metal arm?
Oh,
yeah.
They forgot he had a robot arm.
Yeah, or they wrote themselves into a weird corner and they had to find a way to backtrack. Like when you find out that the implant that he has in his head, oh, it has a toxin inside of it. Did they forget to tell you that? Ha 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 ha. You can't come chase me if you can, ha! And then he calls up the fucking doctor. What's her name? Fucking the doctor. Kelly Lynch's character, and he's like, "Did you know?" And she's like, "Yes, I did." But I was gonna tell you afterwards. I swear, I didn't think it was gonna come down to that. Like such bad overacting. And then his detective buddy just goes to the fucking prison system, and he's like, and just breaks their computers, and now the problem is solved. And then cut to Denzel Washington in the graveyard, mourning over his family, and just like Batman in the fucking rain. And the doctor shows up, and he's like, and the poison, it's been taken care of. I'm like, why was it even there then? Why is this in the script if you're gonna write it out in the next 5 minutes? What is happening?
Or like even like weird stuff too. Like I just read too when he says, "No, I'm Oedipus." Right?
Yeah.
He says like, "No, I'm Oedipus." I'm like, what the fuck does that mean in this context? Like, what does that mean? And what? Because that's when he becomes alive, when he gets his body, right?
I am Oedipus.
You're like,
you know what an Oedipus complex is?
yeah, like what does that have to do with anything?
You want to fuck your mom?
Yeah, like,
MILF Manor? Is this what's happening right now?
and I just like just to remind myself, I was like, okay, like what a tragic hero in Greek mythology, Oedipus accidentally fulfilled a prophecy that he would end up killing his father and marrying his mother, thereby bringing disaster to his city and family.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with Sid? He is a very happy serial killer that needs a body to go kill people.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with that? Because he kills his maker? Is that what the joke? I don't know.
But he doesn't kill his maker.
No, he kills the guy that gives him the guy that gives him the body, Benny.
Yeah, but that's not his maker. His maker is fucking
No, I know,
Lindenmeyer.
but like that, he's the maker of his body.
Also, fucking Lindenmeyer, psycho motherfucker, putting serial killers together into some AI. He's like, yeah, we're training law enforcement. It's supposed to be like a law enforcement training protocol thing.
Yeah, Sid is like, yeah, so to clarify, Sid is like this accumulation of a bunch of serial killers into this AI programming that is the bad guy for this experimental police training program. So that they get convicts to like fight him for...
Well, it's not just they're not just searching for Sid all the time. I mean, for this one, yes.
Yeah. But like he's the big bad guy of this program.
Yeah. And it's just kind of like...
And he's like, what, 200 different serial killer personalities?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, I was just sitting there, I'm like, dude, like Lindenmeyer himself is kind of fucked up for him to be just amalgamating all of these goddamn serial killers together. And then also, like, did you see in the fucking, like, where he was hiding out, he himself had written down fucking Charles Manson's goddamn, mantra or whatever.
Oh, when he killed, when they killed, what's her name? Shit.
Sharon.
I can't remember. I'm totally blanking.
I want to say Sharon Stone, and I know that's wrong.
Yeah, that's what I want to say too.
Anywho, but yeah. Well, they have like even like Sid writes it on the wall from like his first whatever.
Yeah, but
reason.
even that is like so on the nose. Where
Yeah.
you're like, really, are we just gonna do these weird little serial killer Easter eggs? But then they also that's like the only one really.
Yeah. Well,
They don't even lean into it wholeheartedly. They just kind of
that does lead into like one of the things that I actually did appreciate about this script and this story is that the serial killer that what's Denzel Washington's character's name?
Barnes.
Barnes, thank you. Like that Barnes has this history with. It's as soon as like Sid sees Barnes, the psyche or the personality of that specific serial killer becomes forefront because it's a recognizable face.
Yeah, but yeah, okay, that's fair. But also, it's like weird for whatever his name is to be in Sid because he was like an activist terrorist. he wasn't a serial killer.
I thought he was a serial killer too.
No, he was a terrorist. Yeah, he was a terrorist. Well, but he was like a political terrorist.
Yeah.
Which is like, well, if you're trying to make this a combination of serial killers, yeah, granted, with terrorism you kill a lot of people, but it's like this kind of weird outlier personality for what they're explaining Sid to be.
But they also
right?
did explain like the way that Barnes explains Sid as this like thirsty for publicity type thing, but also he kidnapped Barnes's family. Like he has
fair.
He
That's
had-
fair.
yeah.
Fair. And then that also, I mean, that's the thing. Like, yeah, that really is the thing about this movie is it's just like, it's
Also, can we talk about that flashback? Oh, like what the fuck kind of cop was Barnes?
he was a 1995 action movie cop. Okay,
It's set in the future.
it was only 1999.
Was it really only just 4
Yeah, it
years
was
in the
just it
future?
was supposed to be 1999. It wasn't like
Right.
2032. Like,
Wow.
no,
It felt like that's what they were trying to do.
yeah, no, it was only a few
Oh,
years.
fucking A, okay. But even still, just
No,
like
because in the trailer, I watched the trailer. It goes 1999. You know, like
the future.
the future. Welcome to the world of tomorrow. I did finally watch the teaser trailer for the new Futurama, and I'm
looks
very
great.
excited.
It
I'm
looks
very
great.
excited.
Okay, but like he's like what? Yeah, what the fuck? He's like he's like dressed like a Navy SEAL
Yeah, like he's like a special. But that's the thing.
special
Okay, wait.
ops fucking.
But that's the thing about the 90s, and I feel like especially like people our age, and like if you agree with this, I really am curious.
Are you talking about the over romanticization of
cops?
of the police?
Well, no,
yeah,
they made
of
them
cop,
all.
yeah.
Every cop in the 90s was a green fucking beret for some
Yeah.
reason. You know?
Well, and what's really funny is that really spawned from the idea of Die Hard, but Die Hard, the whole idea is that he is just an average cop, somehow miraculously making it through this shit. You know?
Well, I actually like on this because this movie has so much Demolition Man DNA.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
maybe that's why I like it so much because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but Demolition Man actually like is coherent.
Yeah, I know. But what kind of
More.
fucking cop is he? Yeah. He has the nickname the Demolition Man because he destroys shit. It's like, well, maybe take him off the case because he just blows shit up. Like
It's like in the Last Action Hero when the chief is like, yelling, and it's like smoke's coming out of
yeah,
his ears.
yeah,
It's
you know, it's like.
you know how much property damage you just caused.
But I think that too,
I'm
like
getting too old for this shit.
obviously, Last of Us is like a Last Action Hero is Last of Us. Last Action Hero is like a satire spoof joke on it.
Yeah.
Demolition Man also is in this kind of weird realm of fantasy
Yeah.
to it. This feels like they were trying to make something like
Grounded science fiction.
because even that scene when he gets his arm blown off and he accidentally like kills the reporters and stuff, it has
Yeah.
this like really serious.
No, it's like, oh, that's why he's guilty.
That's why
'cause he
he's-
killed the innocent people, and it cuts back to his face, and he's
And it's just like you're like, why the
it's
scene?
like, that's why.
The scene is too serious for this movie.
Also, it's like that. Like, sure, yeah, he accidentally killed two people. I don't know if a cop would go to prison for that.
Well, I mean, he also
You know?
he murdered the terrorist though.
Yeah, that's true. After the terrorists tried to blow him up, I think there's some fucking well-deserved fucking revenge.
He didn't try to blow him up. He blew him up.
Yeah.
He's missing an arm. I think that considers being blown up. That's no longer there. Yeah, I'm gonna go with pissed off.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's actually, but that's also a really good point too. That's like just thinking about it. It's like, okay, yeah, like he got manslaughter, but the dude was just in an explosion. So you're probably not hearing well. You're not seeing well. You're surrounded by enemies, and then you just see movement. Yeah, you're probably gonna.
And then how like just like the other like cops or like law enforcement is all like, oh, you are now a bad guy. You killed some people. It's like they had no sympathy of him having his family blown up in front of him. They're just like, you're in prison now. You're a bad guy.
I do like that prison fight scene though, when he like
Oh.
picks him up and he's like, "I'm not going nowhere." That's actually probably the most emotion he has in this entire.
Yeah.
Like honestly.
God, this movie is fucking weird. And then just also, God, man.
But the saving grace is that like he is so over the top, but he's such a great villain.
Yeah.
And he's like so gross and sexual.
Yeah.
And just creepy.
Also,
and-
the way that they have him like come out of the system
is really creepy too.
I actually kind of like the idea of like synthetic. I mean, that's 3D printing that's happening today. We're not very far away from like something, literally a computer program. Like you hit go and it like creates the AI to move around you, like in
Like an organic kind of thing. Yeah.
But it's like whole idea of like the nanotechnology that if it's around glass, it'll heal you. I like how he's just,
No, but that's the thing. That's what.
sorry.
But that's what's like. That's why I like this. That's why I watched this movie is for him.
Yes, and that's fair. I totally get that.
You want to play? You know, like he's just like so. But it's also just so ridiculous. Like,
and then fucking Kaylee Kyoko's kidnapped, and he's repeating what he did to his family.
but this time they're not gonna die.
No, because
His new family.
his new family is gonna be safe. It's a pressure plate. You can't move. Mommy, help me! God damn it, this is annoying. Also, where the fuck did Barnes learn all of a sudden like computer technology? I don't know. It's just like he's like, all right, so that's the output. Oh God, which one's the input?
Jacob.
I'm like,
He's
what?
a 90s cop. Obviously, he has training in this. In the 90s, everything was hooked to explosives. It's actually kind of fair. Like, if you think about it. So all 90s cops all were are part bomb squad too. That's actually every 90s cop in a movie has to deal with some kind of explosive.
At some point, yeah.
At some point in their
Yeah,
career.
Lethal Weapon, fucking, it's on the toilet with the pressure plate.
Demolition Man. Die Hard.
I like the one in Die Hard 3.
Predator. Oh, he's not a cop though.
No.
But that action hero thing.
Am I just getting over the action hero stuff now? Is that what
Does
this
Kindergarten Cop, does he have to deal with bombs?
Oh, he might.
I know he has like a fire at the end, but
I think it's just a fire.
It's just a
yeah.
fire, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like stick a dynamite somewhere.
Get to the top of now.
I do like the idea of like Kindergarten Cop. He suddenly has to defuse a bomb in the
I
elementary
mean,
school.
I wouldn't be surprised if there is one.
It'd be funny if we're just like totally blanket. They're like, so no, actually, there is totally a bomb.
Honestly, with Kindergarten Cop, I don't remember what the actual premise of that movie fully was. I just remember Arnold Schwarzenegger dealing with kids and one of them puking on him. Oh, and then let's play a game. What is a daddy and what does he do?
Yeah, the
Boys have a penis and girls have a vagina. Man, we were spiraling so hard.
this is my cookie.
Oh, yeah, we gotta get back on virtuosity. I also don't know what else to say about it.
What are we at?
38 minutes. Let me look at my notes. What was Linda Meyer's motive to create Sid? I guess that was obviously. I feel like
I think that was like a god complex.
that's fair. It's just like,
He wanted to create the perfect predator, you know.
do you feel like this movie could like do a remake, or do you think this movie just kind of should be as is?
It's the same thing as saying like, no, they should remake Johnny Mnemonic. No, they shouldn't. No, because it's like this movie in its DNA is so 90s that it just lives in this night. Like even like Fallon really enjoyed it because that's all it is. It's a mindless action thing.
Yeah.
And it's like there's not with the whole because it's like you can take this premise of.
Oh, that's right. I just remembered something I wanted to talk about. Yeah.
It's like saying or like kind of like saying like, oh, they should remake The Cell. No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't remake The Cell. It's DNA is so when it came out because basically, excuse me, times are so different that if you were to take this premise of okay, so we accumulated these personalities and created this super serial killer basically, and now as an AI, and now he has figured out how to get a body and come into the real world. In 2023, it's a totally different movie.
Yeah.
You're going to make something very... This is like some fucking A24
Oh, yeah.
kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like... So
it
it's like,
it could be like take itself way too seriously, or it just be really bad.
Yeah. But it's like... I mean, I think you can take the concept and you could run with it, but it's like, don't make a Virtuosity reboot. You know? It's like when they did... when they redid Flatliners. It just didn't...
Oh, yeah.
It just didn't feel right because it's like the Flatliners is like...
I never watched the remake. So.
I tried.
I don't think I've ever seen the original as well.
And it's weird. Kiefer Sutherland's in it, but he doesn't play the same
that's
character.
Right, I remember that.
He plays a different character.
Well, so I was actually, I remember, I was
correctly.
like thinking about this. So like, And like with the since we did this as a sci-fi block and like a pair of Enemy Mine and this, like. I started to kind of realize that sci-fi is broken down into kind of like 4 different ideas of categories, and it's a man versus environment, or man versus technology, man versus man, or man versus self.
Give me an example of man versus self.
That's kind of a mixture of like 2001: Space Odyssey.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Even the technology is a big part of that.
Yeah.
But like there's anything psychological.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like man versus technology. I mean, it is man versus technology, but it doesn't really have any like. There's no like metaphor of like technology can take over and like like that's kind of like 2001 as well. Like how 9000 or excuse me, taking over. Like. Technology can control humans, take over and become the next thing. Oh, I guess that's a Star Chaser, Legend of Orin.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Enemy Mine is kind of like man versus man and environment.
Yeah.
And a little bit self, because he's like dealing with his hubris of,
Yeah.
the white American type bullshit.
Humans are the best.
Yeah. So, but that movie has like, there's a metaphor, there's a meaning, there's like a message to it. There's really no message. There's no meat to this story. It's literally just popcorn.
Yeah.
It's just fodder. And I think that's why I didn't really enjoy it very much, because I want to watch something and like think, have a little bit of a thought sometimes.
No, this is definitely just turn off your brain and go for the ride.
Yeah. And there is a spot for that everywhere. I think I prefer my comedy to be more like that sometimes than my sci-fi.
I think
action.
I think it's just I'm such a 90s kid that I grew up on all this.
And I didn't.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
but I'm younger than you, so I
Yeah.
was really young. My mom was showing me this shit way too. But, yeah, like I really enjoy the turn off the brain. Pew 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 pew. Pew pew pew.
Star Wars.
Star Wars has more meaning.
Star Wars has a little bit more. Star Wars is essentially fucking like the Greek tragedies rewritten, pretty much. It's the Odyssey in space.
5 time ago, galaxy far, far away.
1999. Like fucking A.
Yeah.
It's like for actually how creative this movie is, it lacks so much creativity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but that's the thing. Like visually, it's very creative.
Yeah.
Visually, it's very creative.
But
when it comes to the story, there's because even
the concept of like you have this program that's being invested in, and also I really thought at the very beginning I thought William Fichtner's character as the investor was going to be he's the one that's been pressing for Sid to deal this stuff. And then it introduced Lincolnmeyer, and I was like, don't make it that easy. Don't make it that on that. Come on. I wanted that twist. I wanted to see William.
you wanted more.
Yeah. I was like, give me a twist. Don't let it be this shallow. God damn it. And then it was not shallow. But it's this whole idea of a virtual reality program that is designed to train law enforcement to be better cops type thing, to like be better, And I was like, that's an interesting idea. And then to have, okay, well, who would be the test subjects for this? Fucking convicts, of course. Why not? Let's talk about that part of the world. Let's not talk about it, but let's have an idea of like that metaphor of like convicts being used for test subjects, which is riddled in history. And then what if one of them's an ex-cop and he's actually a good guy? And I'm just like, and it starts to kind of like, okay, there's pieces in here that could work for a compelling story, but then the story just goes into crazy land.
I just remember they're an American Gangster together.
I've never seen that.
But I think Denzel's the bad guy in that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And Russell Crowe's the cop. That's funny.
Yeah. Do you think they like had lunch one day? Like,
What if we made a good movie together? And then Denzel was like, yeah, but you can't be the bad guy this time. You took that shit way too far. It's like, yeah, my bad.
Ooh, here. There we go.
It's all potatoes. There's no meat.
Not potatoes, no meat.
It's just potatoes and no meat. It's not meat and potatoes.
You got mashed potato, potato stew, you can put the potatoes, and you stir in potatoes. What is
It's just taters.
Wait, what?
Tater tots.
Potato. Oh, God, what does that mean?
I don't know.
It's Lord of the Rings. And it's like...
Oh. Samwise Gamgee.
Potatoes. Samwise Gamgee.
Oh, no, it's Frodo. Frodo. Potato.
Yeah,
Frodo.
that's it. Yeah.
Samwise.
Potatoes.
Yeah, no, it's Frodo. It's all the times they say Frodo, putting the... Yeah, Frodo. Potatoes. Samwise Gamgee.
I love it. Okay, I think we're spiraling.
done?
Yeah.
Are
you done?
I mean, I still like this movie.
I mean, that's fair. And I'm not gonna hate.
It's not
hate on
good.
it. No, it's not.
It's not good at all. Like, but it's still, it's like it's the Phantom for me. Like, I'm just like, it's stupid, but
It does. It's like Batman Forever came out this year. But I remember it's just like it's sometimes when like we watch.
Wow, Batman Forever looks a lot better.
Well, it's coming off of Tim Burton's shit, And it's
I know. I'm
still
just saying,
Schumacher.
like, the quality of it just
Yeah.
looks a lot better. I mean, from what I remember,
The quality is.
It is, yeah.
It's a lot more vibrant. Pops out a lot more
cleaner.
But because like that was filmed on like as a big Hollywood blockbuster film, and this
the budget for this is like $30 million.
yeah, and the budget for that was probably like fucking 100. Maybe not that much, but you know what I mean. Are you looking at Batman Forever?
Yeah.
But like, okay, but like, I remember back when we first started this, and you were trying.
I've been trying to get you to watch this for a long time.
Well, not only this, but like you like were steadfast. What was the budget on Batman Forever?
I guess
125.
100 million. And you want to guess how much it grossed?
110.
336 million.
330. Oh, damn.
Well, you got to think merchandise.
Yeah,
they had a bunch
yeah.
of toys for it, and
Jesus, yeah.
okay, never mind. Yep, you're right. Wait, so what about me in this movie? What were you saying?
Oh, it was just like from Batman Forever, like, and you were like so steadfast on like how good of a movie Batman Forever was, and I was like, dude, you need to rewatch it. It's not that good. And then after finally rewatching, you're like, wow, okay, it's like every time you really try to force a movie, or not, I should say force a movie. I mean, like you really want me. I was like, man, this is gonna be another Batman Forever where you really, really like this movie, and then we watch it, and then
I went into it telling you too.
Yeah,
it's like you're either gonna love this. Like I even said, it's not good. You're either gonna love it though for what it is, or you're gonna absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I don't think there's gonna be a middle ground because it's not good, but it's really fun.
And honestly, like my favorite part of it is Russell Crowe. I think Russell Crowe was he's Nicolas Cage in this movie.
I was watching it thinking that. I was like, but that's the thing. There's so little like information about him. Like, was
I know
he approached? Maybe this feels like a Nicolas Cage. He would have been really good at this.
Yeah.
Like. Well, 95. What was he doing in 95?
Maybe Leaving Las Vegas. Con Air, I want to say, was coming out around this. No, Con Air was like 97. I think 8mm was around this time.
Well, if you think about it, 95 is kind of his like. Okay, that just got spelled for me. Cool.
What?
I just read something on Nicolas Cage's page, and I was like, okay. What we say? This is 95, right?
Yeah, so like mid-90s Nicolas Cage.
So he's doing Kiss of Death, Leaving Vegas, The Rock, Con Air,
Con Air, yeah.
Face Off, City of Angels, Snake Eyes, 8mm. So like this is like boom, every year he's in the middle of doing something. So maybe he's just like, I got too much going on.
Or maybe he wasn't offered enough money.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, $30 million budget. That's probably what he wants as the actor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. And we're also just speculating.
I'm just surprised they got Denzel Washington in this movie.
But that's what even the review said. Denzel Washington is wasted here.
Yeah, he is.
How much eye-popping and taunting can the performer do? A lot. Okay?
Especially, also, that was another thing, is like when like all of a sudden his face would like super exaggerate like it was still a computer program. I was like, what? He's in reality now. Why is this happening?
Because it's a synthetic body.
It's
Get fucked. But like, that's the thing. Okay, we can wrap up in a second, but that's really like to just put it like I don't want to talk in a circle, but it really is like that's what it kind of feels like. Actually, what you just did.
So what if you eat glass?
Like, why? Why is that the jump? You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, well, we need a way for him to heal himself. No, it'd be really cool if there's a scene where he's eating glass. Oh, okay, that will be the reason.
I mean, they do set up with the snake that they heal with glass. You know,
Well, yeah, but why glass?
yeah.
Why?
Why
is
is
it
it glass? Yeah.
Why is it glass?
Why not sand?
Why not
It's the same fucking thing, isn't it?
anything? Could have been.
Any organic material around him.
It could have been anything. You could have done anything. But why did you pick glass? Because you want him to eat glass. That's what it feels like. You want a scene where he's going to eat glass. That's like.
Also, when he was like all like dead and like punctured through the glass and sitting there and was like, well, he's just gonna absorb that.
That was actually a pretty cool death scene, though.
Yeah.
When he like falls through the window and he's like.
Also, how the fuck does Denzel Washington know to pull out the goddamn CPU head sexagon fucking thing?
I was hoping you weren't gonna bring that up, but
Like-
I thought that too.
I'm like, where? And now he just knows that.
Jacob, you're not understanding. He is a 90s cop. You don't know the training. You don't know the training that they go through for these situations that they're in, okay? 90s was crazy. Especially in 1999. We have like robots and shit.
Some all the '90s cops are just watching Die Hard and just.
Dude, could you actually imagine being like a cop, like a
This is
40-year-old
your training.
a 40-year-old cop watching these movies? Like, what the fuck do they think we do? Oh, I guess I missed my SEAL training. Like, where was I on that day? All right, let's rate it.
Oh God, 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2.5 just because Crow's performance.
Yeah.
I think it's that little bump. But that's even it's not even a good performance.
No,
it's great for
just
this.
It's just fun to watch.
Yeah, it's It's not good though.
Yeah.
Like it's like really it's so over the top. It's
Well, no, it's in Face Off. Like, I wouldn't say Nicolas Cage is fucking phenomenal in that, but he's great to watch. You know, him and John Travolta both just being over the top crazy lunatics.
John Travolta. I think John Travolta killed it as a villain in that one. I really liked him in that.
Because he
does
Cage.
Nick Cage well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like this weird meta kind of like John Travolta is playing Nicolas Cage, but Nicolas Cage is the bad guy, but then he's also the good guy. But then, yeah. So
That'd be a ridiculous fun movie to do at some point.
Face Off.
Yeah.
That'd be a weird one. Well, the thing is, we just did this. We have to.
We're taking a step away.
We need to step away from the '90s cop thing. Oh my god, it's another '90s cop movie, and he deals with a bomb. What was up with bombs in '90s and like cop movies?
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Rush Hour.
Yeah. Because a bomb is just like, it's the thing. It's a bomb and a bomb, 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 bomb. Is that?
I just never put it together that every '90s villain that was their thing. They just were like, hey, let's blow it up.
Speed.
There's a problem, blow it up.
Blows himself up in Speed.
The
Straps a
Ro-
bomb to his own chest.
The Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well,
a missile, which is a
yeah.
bomb that can fly.
Yeah, but the terrifying thing in The Rock isn't really that. It's the virus.
Well, yeah, but even the bomb in Face Off is a dirty bomb.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, we're just talking about other stuff
This
now.
just became a podcast about '90s cop movies.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
not
much.
even not even about this
Virtue
movie.
Velocity anymore.
Yeah. Wow, that spiraled. Well, that's what happens when this happens, though.
Yeah. All right.
Do we know next week?
I think it's 3,000 miles to Graceland. We're doing since you're going to Vegas.
Oh
doing the
yeah, I'm
camping
going to
thing.
Vegas, so we're gonna
Yeah.
be doing some Vegas movies.
Well, we're doing a Vegas movie and then a camping movie.
Oh yeah. I picked the Vegas movie and you picked the camping movie. Because it's gonna be July.
Because it's our vacation time.
It's vacation time. Because he's going camping. I'm going to Vegas. Unfortunately, because it's July and it's hot.
Why not?
Why not? All right, cool. Like, subscribe.
Yeah, follow us, leave some notes, talk to us, tell us what you want to see. What do you want us to watch? Let us know. Give us a genre. Give us a theme.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, give us a a word
Yeah.
and be like, figure it out, stupid. Sorry. We need to be done. We need to be done. This is Tommy.
This is
Tommy and Jacob's
mixtape.
mixtape.
Later,
We
guys.
got pull it. Cut it.